All right, we got Unit 3, Assignment 3, surface area of rectangular prism. So like always, I expect you guys to go through the vocab, go through the lessons, watch the video, do question 1, and then we'll dive in once you're done with that. Number 2 says, which of the following describes the meaning of surface area of a solid? So number 1 says the amount of solid it can hold. 2 says the total area of all the surfaces. 3 says the area of the base of the solid. And number 4 says the total area of one of the faces of the solid. So hopefully you guys are thinking, give you guys a second. The only one that makes sense is surface area is all of them. So B, the total area of all the surfaces. 3 says if the dimensions of a solid are measured in feet, then the surface area of the solid will be measured in cubic feet. That would be cubed feet or square feet. So it would be square feet if we're talking about surface area. Number 4 says determine the surface area of the rectangular prism below. So for this one, I'm going to teach you guys a little trick. If we have, if we're trying to find a surface area with 6 sides, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the rest of the questions will kind of use a formula that they teach us. So we can write this. This is a trick. We write 1 through 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because there's 6 sides. And we write each number. We'll use this one, yellow. Write each number 4 times. So we got 2, 2, 2, 2. Next one, we'll go 5, 5, 5, 5, and 5. And last one, we got 10 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. In between them, once we have all the numbers, we're going to multiply across. So we got 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 10 is 20. 2 times 10 is 20. And 5 times 10 is 50 and 50. Once you do that, you're going to add all these together and get your answer. So we got 50 plus 50 is 100, plus 20 is 120, plus 20 more is 140, 10 more is 150, and 10 more is 160. We do this because we need to find the surface of each side. So 2 times 5 will figure out this side right here and this side right here. So we have 2 of those. The next one would be, this is a rectangular prism that's unfolded, so it's kind of hard to see. The next side would be this one right here and this one right here, and that would be 10 times 2. So we have 10 times 2 right on these 2. And the last one would be this bottom piece right here. And then once we fold this all the way to the top, this is my top and this is my bottom. So base times height is 10 times 5, 2 times. So that's what we have right here. Like I said, the rest of the lesson, we'll use a formula, but we can always, if it's 6 sides, we can always list them out 1 through 6, write each number 4 times, multiply, and then add them all together. So this is the formula I was talking about. If we're trying to find the surface area of a 6-sided figure, we have length times width plus length times height plus width times height. And we do that. That's just for 3 sides, and we need to do it for 3 more. So we're doing the same thing over again. Once we combine like terms, we're going to add them all together. So length times width and length times width, that's just going to be 2 length times width plus 2 length times height plus 2 width times height. So that is our formula right there that we'll use the rest of them. Again, you can write the 1 through 6, write the numbers 4 times, multiply them across and add them, but it's good to know this formula as well. Number 5 says a rectangular prism has a length of 5 centimeters, a width of 5 centimeters, and a height of 10 centimeters. Determine the surface area of the object. So we have a formula right here. Surface area equals that. So we got 2. Our length, it says right there, is 5. And our width is 5. Plus 2L, that's an L, not a 1. Make sure it's not 21. 2, again, 2 length is 5. And now we're going for a height is 10. Plus the last one, 2, my width is 5. And my height is 10. So once we get this, the hard part is done. You guys have calculators. You guys can do this in your head, whatever you think. So we got 5 times 5 is 25 times 2 is 50. Plus 10 times 5 is 50 times 2 is 100. And this one again, we got 10 times 5 is 50 times 2 is 100. So we got 100 plus 100 is 200 plus 50 is 250. For number 6, it says what is the area of the rectangular prism if its length is 17? So our length is 17. So we just plug that in right there. And I want you guys to try this on your own. We're doing the exact same thing as we did last problem and just plug in all these numbers into this formula. You guys can also do the 1 through 6, write it 4 times, whatever you prefer. Number 7 says ABC Paint Company needs to paint the outside of the building. They will also need to paint the roof. What is the surface area that needs to be painted? So hopefully you guys realize something's funky with this in the sense it's not 1 through 6. There's only a certain amount of sides that need to be painted. So pause the video, count, and try to figure it out. Once you unpause it, we can count together. So it's saying the outside of the building. So if this is a building, obviously, let's say this is the door right here. So this side needs to be painted for sure. This side, yes. The back of the building, yes. The side and the roof, will make the roof, to not confuse you, we'll make the roof red. So the roof is right here in the middle as well. So the roof needs to be painted. So we can't do the 1 through 6 trick, and the formula is going to be a little different because we don't need to paint the bottom of the building. We physically couldn't paint the bottom of the building because in the 30 ground, it's in the cement. The foundation is already set. So what we would do is just change the formula a little bit. So we got our surface area equals, usually it would be 2 because I need the bottom and I need the top. So since I just need the roof, I can just go length times width, my cursor's brutal, plus now I still need 2 sides, length times height, and I still need the other 2 sides, the front and the back or side to side, to width times height. So I'm just changing, instead of having this be 2, now it's just 1. So we can plug everything in. So we got surface area would equal length times height is 50 times 30. So 50 times 30. Whoa. Lauren's doing a lesson in the back, so that's why if you can hear her, she's loud. Plus 2 length times width, so 50 times 10, our height, length times height, Jiminy Cricket. And then our last one would be width 30 times our height is 10. All right, once we figure out all the numbers and plug it into the formula, the hard part is done. You guys can use mental math or use a handy dandy calculator. So we got 50 times 30, 5 times 3 is 15. And just add the zeros, we got 2 zeros. Plus, this should be 50, I don't know why it says 5, my bad. 50 times 10 is 500 times 2 is 1,000 plus 30 times 3, 30 times 3, holy cow. 30 times 10 is 300 times 2 is 600. So add them together. 1,500 plus 1,000 is 2,500 plus 600. When you add those together, we get 3,100 square square feet or feet squared. Number 9 is a little different. It says, what is the length of each edge of a cube if its surface area is 486 square units? So it's telling us essentially what we've been figuring out, the answer, 486. And wants to know what's the length of each edge of a cube. So first off, how many sides does a cube have? Thank you. I heard you guys. I imagine you guys saying 6. And then we don't know the length of it, so it'd be x. And since it's a surface area, it'd be squared. So just like we've done all year with every grade level, where when we solve for x, the opposite of multiplication is division. So we divide by 6, divide by 6. When we get this, ooh, I'm not going to know that off the top of my head. 486. 486 divided by 6. Yep, would have known that. Is 81. So where's my, so now we got 81 equals x squared. What's wrong with this picture? Good. Hopefully you said we can't just leave x squared, so we have to do the square root of a radical. And when we do that, this cancels out, and now we're just left with x. But whatever you do to one side, you have to do the other side. So the square root of 81 is 9. 9 times 1, 9 equals 81, or the radical. Last one, number 10, we're solving for x. So the surface area of a rectangular prism is 442 square feet. The length is 11 feet and the height is 8. What is the width of the prism? So let's fill everything we know. So the surface area, it tells us right here, is 442 equals 2 times length. It gives us the length, which is 11. And our height is 8, so we're good there. Plus 2 times our length, which it gives us 11. And our width, we're just going to put x because we don't know our width. Plus 2, we don't know our width, so we're going to put an x, and our height. And our height is 8. Our next step is dropping down and combining like terms. So we got nothing changes with 442 equals 11 times 8 is 88 times 2 is 176 plus 2 times 11 is just 22 x, don't forget the x, plus 16, 2 times 8 is 16 x. Next step again is combine like terms. So we have 4, not messing with that right now, equals nothing is combining. There's no common terms with 176, but there are with 22 and 16. Both of them have x's in them. So 22 plus 16, 6 plus 2 is 8, plus 2 plus 1 is 3, 38x. So moving on from here, we've practiced this all year. Holy cow. Last question. Thank God. You guys need to get x by itself. So subtract this over, and then go from there. We're going to divide. That's the last thing I'm going to say. Good luck. Let me know if you guys have